Mr. President, I want to spend a few minutes talking about Senator Marshall's and I's legislation to overturn President Biden's squid-brained idea with respect to pistol braces. The Second Amendment to the United States Constitution, Mr. President, as you well know, gives private citizens the right to possess a firearm, including a pistol, and to use it lawfully. That's not a right of government. That's a right that each of us has as Americans. Justice Scalia said it pretty well in D.C. versus Heller. The American people have considered the handgun to be the quintessential self-defense weapons. Put up the hand down. So many people who are opposed to the Second Amendment. They say they're not opposed to the Second Amendment. They say they just want to regulate guns. They don't. They want to abolish guns. And many of them wouldn't know a gun from a J. Crew catalog. This is a handgun. This is what we're talking about. Now, our Second Amendment right is not unlimited. We know that. It's subject to reasonable restriction by government, consistent with the Constitution and the country's, quote, historical tradition of firearm regulation. Those aren't my words. Those are the Supreme Court's words. I'm quoting New York State Rifle and Pistol Association v. Brewing by the United States Supreme Court. For example, in many states, you can't own a bazooka. That's a reasonable restriction. Your right to own a gun can also be restricted if you suffer from mental illness. That is what we have concluded as a society as a reasonable restriction. The issue today is very simple. It's whether President Biden's Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms new rule, in effect banning, or at a minimum severely restricting, pistol braces, is a reasonable restriction under the Constitution. That's what we're discussing today. Trigger warning. This is a pistol brace. I know it's scary. This is a pistol brace. It fits on your forearm like this. Here it is, right here. To the pistol brace is added another piece that grips the handgun. That's what we're talking about here. A pistol brace is also known, this scary piece of equipment here, is also known as a stabilizing brace or an arm brace. It's a simple device. It's mounted to the rear of the pistol. It's designed to anchor the pistol to the shooter's arm, right here. It goes on the forearm. So the shooter can shoot the pistol with one hand. Now, why is that important? Because some Americans don't have two hands, or the use of two hands, or two arms. Pistol braces were invented to help handicapped people, particularly handicapped veterans who don't have use of both of their arms. You don't have to be a handicapped person to use a pistol brace. Some studies have shown that there are as many as 40 million pistol braces in the United States that President Biden wants to outlaw. Not 4 million, 40 million. And most of them, I would say virtually all of them, are owned by law-abiding citizens. Now, this pistol brace, other than stabilizing the pistol, it doesn't change the pistol in any way. The pistol brace doesn't change the caliber of the pistol, doesn't make it more powerful. The pistol brace doesn't change the number of rounds that the pistol can hold. The pistol brace doesn't make the pistol an automatic pistol. Automatic weapons are forbidden in the United States. And the pistol brace doesn't make the pistol fire any faster. The pistol brace also does not help the shooter load the pistol more quickly. Except for stabilizing the pistol, it doesn't change the pistol in any way. It just makes it easier to hold, which is important, particularly if you're handicapped. As one of my colleagues alluded to, pistol braces were invented in 2012. They have been legal since. As I said, millions of Americans own them. Millions of Americans use them, especially handicapped Americans. The Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Bureau has never had a problem with pistol braces. None, zero, zilch, nada, until President Biden became president. Now, President Biden and his ATF have promulgated a rule. It says attaching a pistol brace to a pistol somehow magically stops the pistol from being a pistol and turns it into a short-barreled rifle. The ATF has defended its proposed new rule, as has President Biden, by pointing to 2 mass shootings that were committed by individuals who used pistols with pistol braces. Now, why does it matter? Why is the ATF trying to say a pistol is no longer a pistol? If you use a pistol brace, it's a short barrel rifle. I'll tell you why. You don't have to be a Latin scholar to figure it out. Because short barrel rifles, once again, which the ATF says pistol braces turn pistols into, are heavily restricted by the National Firearms Act of 1934 and the Gun Control Act of 1968. That's why they want to turn a pistol into a short barrel rifle by using a pistol brace. Under these 2 federal statutes, if the ATF can succeed, the ATF can require the owner of the pistol with the pistol brace to register it within 120 days with the ATF. They want to start a gun registry for law-abiding Americans. Hello? They want to start a gun registry. If the ATF pulls this off, this is what they can do. This is what you have to do if you own a pistol brace and you use it with your handgun, handicapped or otherwise. You got to register it within 120 days with the ATF. You got to destroy the pistol brace. You've got to dismantle the pistol brace, or you've got to surrender your pistol to the ATF, or you have to destroy your pistol. And violations, if you don't do what the ATF says, violations of these 2 federal statutes are punishable by 5 to 10 years in prison and fines of up to $250,000. Stupidity should hurt more. Unless you self-identify as an idiot, you can see what's going on here. The American people may be poorer under President Biden, but they're not stupid. The ATF is trying to keep Americans from owning pistols, and/or they're trying to keep Americans from owning pistol braces, and/or they're trying to use this rule to start an extensive national gun registry. And the ATF rule is just a backdoor way to subject pistols to more smothering regulations. I swear to God and all the angels, Americans get so much government, they choke on it. They choke on it. Neither the National Firearms Act of 1934 nor the Gun Control Act of 1968 mention pistol braces. Nor does the statute's legislative history. Under recent unambiguous decisions by the United States Supreme Court in West Virginia v. EPA and Alabama Association of Realtors v. Department of Homeland Security, in King v. Burwell, all Supreme Court precedent, a regulatory agency like the ATF does not have the power under our Constitution to decide major questions like banning pistol braces unless Congress says it's okay through the text of the statute that the agency is relying on. The statute itself clearly and unambiguously has to give the ATF the authority to ban pistol braces, and it does not. The ATF rule is unconstitutional. It's also unconstitutional under the U.S. Supreme Court decision in New York State New York State Rifle and Pistol Association v. Bruin, which was handed down a couple of years ago, because banning pistol braces is not part of our country's, quote, historical tradition of firearm regulation. The ATF rule also violates, in my judgment, the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. And finally, the ATF rule and President Biden's rule are just, the rule is just plain bottom of the barrel moronic. Attaching a pistol brace to a pistol, which doesn't change the pistol in any fundamental way, except stabilizing it, does not stop the pistol from being a pistol. It doesn't. And it sure doesn't turn it into a short barrel rifle. Pistols are pistols. Rifles are rifles. Duh. All the pistol brace does is allow an American, especially a handicapped American, to safely grip a pistol and control it in a safe manner. That's all it does. Like I said, stupid should hurt more. This ATF rule is why so many Americans wonder how so many governmental officials in Washington, D.C. made it through the birth canal. Mr. President, I yield.